Now I reckon there's going to be some sore bodies in the morning. We're officially getting back on track, and I mean that quite literally, because today we're off karting. Or for you Americans out there, that's rental kart racing, which means I get to do this. Cue the intro. Now it's been a hot minute since I've last used that one, and that's because, well, quite frankly, we've not been racing in a while. I think the last time I competed properly was 2019, and that was 6 years ago. Life just kind of gets in the way. The other side of it is, because we're off karting, karting is most important to be the lightest you can possibly be. The driver that is. And, well, we've put a little bit of weight on. I don't know how that happened. Ugh, I know, it's depressing, isn't it? Joys of getting old and basically not doing a lot. But I know for a fact that I can't change any of that for today. So I guess we're going to find out if fat is really fast. And to do that, I've met up with a bunch of old Autograss friends here at TeamSport in Birmingham to race, well, karting and see how quick I really am. Now, there's a couple of things we need to know when we head out to track for qualifying. 1, I've never raced this circuit. 2, I've never raced an electric car. And 3, we're not exactly the most patient of people. But in between the carnage and all the yellow flags, we did actually manage to find 1 or 2 clean laps to actually get some sort of qualifying result on the board. Now the session was completely filled with carnage, with me accidentally taking people out, but also some quite close racing as we all try and scramble for those fastest laps. With the checkered flag out, qualifying was at a close, so it was time to go into the full Grand Prix race. Now, as we pull up to the grid and line up in our qualified position of 4th, we got handed some really useful information.
And please try to avoid any massive overtaking maneuvers until you get up the ramp, okay? Because these next 2 corners are going to be super, super tight, yeah?
I'm guessing she doesn't quite know us. I reckon that was about 50 yards, if that, before the first red flag of the session came out. And let me tell you, there's more than one. Now, as green flag racing carries on, we get an absolute blister at the start and quickly jump back into 3rd. But it wasn't long before I made the first mistake of the session. Yeah, I didn't account for all the understeer, and, well, quite frankly, that 3rd place was then demoted back to 4th. Thankfully though, yellow flag soon came out, so we took the opportunity to weave in and out and try and get some heat into those front tyres, try and stop this understeer. As green flag racing once again kicks in, we try and capitalise on a bunched up pack. Wasn't long before those yellows came out though, and we're back to weaving and bobbing and diving, trying to get some more heat back in these front tyres. Now, as green flag racing once again commences, we find ourselves on the back of the pack and catching fairly quickly to some traffic, which is when I decide I think I need to do a Max Verstappen style dive bomb. Not the cleanest of passes, but a pass nevertheless, and we're back up to third. But it wasn't long before another red flag bunched everyone back up again. Now, a couple of silly little driving mistakes down, we start praying for a yellow flag to catch us back up to the leading pair. And I didn't have to wait long. Back yellow flag racing means that everything's bunched back up, green flag, and we're all going for it. Which is where I made my other driving mistake. Yeah, it turns out when you touch the brake on the electric karts, it cuts the throttle out. So we had to quickly, fix that mistake and barge our way past some of the traffic to try and catch back up to the leading pair again. Now, with the front two getting away from us, we kind of need to find ourselves another yellow flag to catch back up. Now, unfortunately, I completely misjudged that and run straight into traffic and caused, well, a minor accident. Honestly, it wasn't intentional. Now, we find ourselves in a little bit of limbo land where we're praying for a yellow flag to come out so we can actually catch back up and bunch the pack back up. We didn't have to wait too long. That driver at the bottom of the ramp was an absolute blessing in disguise. See, that means we can catch back up, bunch everything back up into the pack, and then we're just in time for us to go green light racing and see if we can make a move. As we head down the flat out straight, we also catch a bunch of traffic, which makes this next hairpin rather interesting. Sorry Steve, I generally didn't mean to put you in the wall, but I had no other way to go and there was no chance I was getting stuck there. Once again the red flag came out and we're back green racing, and I got caught napping on the restart and let not one but two drivers through. One absolute kick in the teeth that was. We did manage to regain one of the places though when they decided to have their own little accident. Thank you very kindly. Of course, that brought out the yellow flags, which means we're trying to catch back up to the pack to then see if we can actually make a last minute dive on the last lap of the race. Now all in all there was about 4 red flags, 12 different yellow flags and a good stint of green flag racing as well. But nothing was going to stop us from being able to catch these pair up. So therefore, when the checkered flag came out, guess where we finished? Yep, behind them. Now I reckon there's going to be some sore bodies in the morning, and while I sit here eating McDonald's, the answer to the question, is fat fast? Well, I reckon it's bang average. Catch you on the next one. Ta-ra!